Today, it's the day of a big, big game. And when you've got a big, big game, you need a big, big dressing gown, which is exactly what this is. It's the winter number because it's pretty cold where I live right now. Anyway, it is a massive game. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Me being a Liverpool fan, obviously, I'm going to go right in there right now, score prediction. And I don't know why I want to do it right now, but I just feel I want to get it out of the way. I believe that this game will finish 3-2 for either side. I don't know which team will come out on top. I'm not saying that either team couldn't dominate the other. Obviously, I don't want to see my team being dominated as much as Man United teams don't want to see their team dominated by Liverpool. But I believe that this game is going to be so close in terms of the midfield battle, in terms of what goes on up front for both teams, and what happens in defence as well. I personally feel that man for man, defensively, we have the better defence. In terms of goalkeeper, statistically and obviously historically, David De Gea is the better goalkeeper, but we have a fantastic goalkeeper as well in his first season in the Premier League, which if you were to compare seasons in the Premier League, I do believe that Alisson's having the better season than De Gea's first season, but this isn't De Gea's very first season. He's a very seasoned pro and he's a brilliant goalkeeper. There's no denying it. In the midfield, I do believe, man for man, we have the better midfield. Now, people will turn around and question, what about Paul Pogba? Pogba's brilliant. He is brilliant, but he's not the whole midfield. And I still believe that man for man, we have the better midfield. Their midfield is just turning up right now. Our midfield, while sometimes questionable, I do believe it's stronger. I just believe it is stronger. We don't have that, sparkling creativity that Pogba can give you. We don't have that. Not any other team has that, really, maybe apart from the top teams. The other top teams. We have a very industrious midfield, sometimes creative depending on who you put in there. I still believe man for man we have the better one. Now in terms of up front, I still believe that we would have the better up front options. It just so happens that Man United are getting the best out of Rashford right now. That's just a fact. There is no other way to go about it. That is just a fact. They're getting the best out of Rashford. Seems to be getting the best out of Martial. Ironically, ditching Mourinho is getting the best out of Manchester United, which people may not have seen that coming last year. You finished second in the league, you should be progressing from there. And they didn't. We've already beaten them 3-1 this season. But make no mistake, this is going to be like facing a brand new Man United. This is going to be like facing a completely different animal. It will be. They'll be prepared for us. We'll be prepared for them, but they will offer different things now. They will not just sit back. You won't have Paul Pogba. I don't even think Paul Pogba played in the last game. I can't remember. But they're not going to have Paul Pogba sitting deep. They're not going to have Rashford out on the wings and Lukaku stuck up front. They're not. They're going to be going at us with probably Martial on the wings, Rashford up front, Pogba in the middle, trying to get through that to, make that midfield space his own. And I am so glad for this game. I do believe that we can go with Matip and Van Dijk at the back, Trent on the right, Robbo on the left-hand side, Alisson in goal, which means the midfield can open up and become Fabinho's space. Now, the one person that, in midfield that Man United fans seem to be worried about is Fabinho. And Fabinho's job is going to be, no doubt, marshalling Pogba. And for this reason, I feel that we should go with the 4-2-3-1. Now, some see the 4-2-3-1 as quite negative, but I think that it will help you control your midfield. It will help you control the outlets that they have. Herrera's playing well right now. Who else? They've got Matic. Obviously, he's their controlling midfielder. And Pogba, in his free role, being able to do what he wants now, they're getting the best out of him, and he needs to be the one that is kept quiet. Obviously, you need to keep Rashford quiet as well. You need to keep Martial quiet. You need to keep their other players quiet. But Pogba is going to be the one. He's going to be the engine, the key that is going to try and unlock our defence. And we need to make sure that we stop him. There's loads of people that used to slag off Pogba when he first came to this league. And obviously this season when he wasn't performing, down tools. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with downing tools to get a manager sacked, which I do believe is what happened. Similar to what Chelsea did to managers previous. You could count on however many hands they've done it to. But the fact is, right now, he's turning up and he's providing for Man United, and we need to keep him quiet. Now, obviously, Van Dijk is going to help with that. Fabinho is going to help with that. But I think the 4-2-3-1 setup will help us control it even more. And the other defensive midfielder for me would be Gini Wijnaldum. You know, people will be looking at Henderson. You've got to have the captain in there. But I feel so much that you just get the best out of Fabinho with Wijnaldum next to him. And then you've got the other guys up front. You've got the front four, it would be, with the 4-2-3-1. Which will obviously be, no doubt, Salah, Firmino, Mane, however they're going to set up. And then that last space. Has Naby Keita done enough in the last couple of games to warrant a starting place? If Shaqiri's injured, or he's just coming back from injury, gets a place on the bench, then yeah, I think you've got to throw the dice. You've got to go in there, put Fabinho in the midfield, Wijnaldum in the midfield, and have Naby Keita in there as well. This setup would work even if we go 4-3-3. It would. They complement each other quite well, I feel. Henderson, Wijnaldum, Naby Keita had a good game against Bayern, put Fabinho on that midfield, and I'm not just knocking Henderson out of the team just because it's Henderson. I just feel that these are the best options that we would have on the day. So whether we go 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, we should have enough to get a good result out of this game. But it's going to be so much more competitive. It's much more imperative for us to get the win here. It's much more imperative for us not to lose. Manchester United come into this game with nothing to lose. They're lower in the table. I think they're fourth in the table now, so they're in the top four right now. They don't really have a lot to lose, though. They had a very poor start to the season. They weren't doing as well as people expected to. They didn't strengthen as they expected to, but a change of manager has seen them, I think, lose once in 12, 13 games, drawn once, and then won the rest. All right, you can look at some of the teams and say, well, yeah, they should have been beating them. But the fact is, they put together a streak. They put together a lot of wins, and they came unstuck against PSG, one of the top sides in Europe. Now, people are also saying PSG have provided a blueprint on how to beat Manchester United, but every team has a different style. I'm not saying we can't adopt that, but we also don't have the players they have. You know, we don't have an Mbappe, etc., and all that sort of stuff, but we have our own world-class players. Mane has been absolutely key. I think he actually got the Standard Chartered Liverpool Player of the Month for this month. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant when maybe other players have been a little bit quiet. Firmino, Salah. Salah's been great as well. Firmino's been brilliant. They all need to click, though. They all need to be coming into this game fired up and ready to go and lay it down. That is what needs to happen. We're playing away from home. We're playing away in hostile territory. It's going to be this is such a big game. This could be a defining game in the title race. It could be. We're not going to be facing big teams week in, week out. But at the end of the day, there aren't, I can't even think how many games there are left. Something like 12, 13 games of the season left. 12 to 13 games of the Premier League season left. That's unreal. That's absolutely unreal. It's bizarre. The season just seems to coast along, and then it just, bang, we're almost near the end. You can almost see the home straight. We've still got big games to come. This is arguably the biggest. I don't even think arguably, I think it is the biggest. I'm more concerned about the Premier League than I am the Champions League. I would much rather us be going out doing well, doing really, really well in the Premier League, going as far as we can, than the Champions League. Obviously, it's great that right now we don't have to choose, but Premier League is the one. Premier League is the one. And I firmly believe, I do believe that we can get the result over Manchester United as long as we turn up and we perform well. If we turn up and we look lethargic in the first 20 minutes and we go a goal down, it's going to be difficult, really, really difficult. But if we can shut Manchester United out for the first 15, 20 minutes, we can grow into the game. I feel that we can pull off the victory here. But let me know what you think in the comments below. It's going to be such a tight game. It's quite evenly balanced in quite a lot of ways. And this is, again, a different Manchester United animal than we've seen this year. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, I want Liverpool to win. I just cannot choose which way this result will go as a prediction. That's just me being honest. I can't choose. But I hope in my heart that it's Liverpool. Let me know what you think in the comments below anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you once again, and I will catch you later.